everyone, I'm Eunice Joy E, and I'm here to present to you what is a hazard and risk and how to eliminate this into the tourism industry. At first, let me discuss to you what is a hazard. Hazard is a potential source of harm or adverse health effect on a person. What is a risk? A risk, it is a likelihood that a person may be harmed or suffer adverse health effect if exposed to a hazard. So after I discuss the meaning of a hazard and risk, now I'm going to discuss the different example of hazard and risk. So for example, in this situation, if you are working with a heavy machinery using a chemical at work, as for the situation, workstation, then the risk may be it would be a danger that situation may pose. For example, you may get physical injuries, chemical burns. As you can see here, here's the other example of a hazard and a risk. At first is the burns. Burns, it is a tissue damage that results from a heat. The second is the cut. It is to divide into pieces with a sharp equipment or a knife. The third is the slippery floors. Floors get wet from a leaking equipment. And then the fourth is the chemical exposure. Exposure occurs when people have a contact with a chemical. The fifth is that falls from ladders. A ladder sliding at a base due to an incorrect ladder setup angle. Lastly is the electrical wiring. Any damaged wiring is a shock and a fire accident. So after I discuss the meaning of a hazard and risk and a different example of that, now I will discuss the different prevention and how to eliminate this into the industry. The first is the burns. So make sure the handles of pots and pans do not stick out from counters or stove. And then the other prevention is to use oven mitts or dry clothes when handling hot objectives. Then the lastly is to lower food and utensils slowly into hot oil. And then when it comes to a cuts, the prevention that we need to do is to use a flat surface or cutting board when we are cut different foods. And then the second is to hold the knife securely with your strong hands. And then lastly, the prevention that we need to do is to wear a protective equipment such as cut resistant if necessary. When it comes to slippery floors naman, the prevention that we need to do is to use a non-slip footwear and then clean floors regularly. And then lastly, the prevention that we need to do is to use a rubber mats in areas where the floors are consistently wet. And then when it comes to chemical exposure, the prevention that we need to do is to follow safe work procedures. When handling chemicals, use chemical protective equipment as recommended by the manufacturers and required by the employees. So when it comes to a falls from ladders, the prevention that we need to do is to set the ladder on a flat firm surface, face the ladder when standing on, and when climbing up or down, keep the center of your body between the side nails of a ladder. Lastly is the electrical wiring. So the prevention that we need to do is to inspect wiring equipment before use, use safe work practice every time electrical equipment is used, and then lastly is to limit the use of extension cords.
While for the next video, it is all about the safety in the work to prevent that hazard and risk. So stay tuned. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.